good way. This guy is out there in a really good way. So before we get started, I'm going to bring him in. I'm going to give you a little bit of his background, and I'm going to spend about 10-15 minutes with him. Then I'm going to jump into my cold plunge. Here we go. Let me just give you guys. I do like lemonade. Thank you.
It's lemonade.
Okay, it's my son Lincoln.
Hi.
So these pops are called Chloe's Pops. They're fruit, water, and a little bit of organic cane sugar. That's the only thing. 3 ingredients. Chloe's fruit. Unbelievable. So this is like I eat super healthy, and then I give it all. This is healthier than most options. Anyway, I give it all back. Lincoln, how many ice pops have you had today? Honestly.
2.
No way.
2.
No, I saw you eat 2. This has got to be at least 3.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, he's had 3, so he's passed his quota. All right, I'm going to bring in a friend of mine who I met in New York City. This guy is incredibly smart. He led the charge of the health food movement. He was like the first in the game in New York City when it came to juicing. He had many retail stores. I met him over a decade ago. His store was called Organic Avenue. And then he launched a company built around a juicer that he invented. I was an investor. Didn't work, but I still love him. And now he's got something that's just absolutely unbelievable that anybody can do at their home and grow almost instantly one of the healthiest foods that you can have at your fingertips, at your house. Make it yourself. So let me see if I can call him in here. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Boom. This is Doug Evans, ladies and gentlemen. Meet my friend Doug Evans. We're getting connected here. Doug!
Jesse!
Ah!
Oh,
the
man.
internet doesn't have enough energy for us. There's
I
not
just
enough
like-
wattage.
I was up all night preparing for every word that we're going to communicate today about sprouting. Are you back home or where are you?
I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, off the RV. I have my son Lincoln here. He wants to learn about sprouting. Let me just explain to everybody what's going on here. There is nobody with more energy than you on the planet, Doug. You're one of the smartest guys I know. You led the charge, and I believe in New York City in juicing and health and wellness early in the 90s. And you continue to you're a trailblazer, man. Everything you say is 10 years ahead of the curve. So if you tell me you have a revolutionary way for me to get healthier with my kids that I can do at home, I'm in. So
All right. Well,
give me the whole spiel.
okay. So, 200 years ago, everybody who ate vegetables either grew them or knew who grew them and they had vegetables. And you fast forward today and you're eating a Chloe's popsicle, right? Right? Which is delicious. But we are so far away from connection with our food source. And we live in a society, and, big topic today, and I just did a podcast with Marianne Williamson about this, food poverty, food equality, right? So I moved to the desert, right? You could see this is the desert where I'm living, right? That's my window. I moved to the desert. Not only am I in a desert, I'm in a food desert. So there is no Organic Avenue. There's no juice press. There's no Whole Foods, within an hour plus away from here. So I was saying, how is Organic Doug going to get my source of fresh, ripe, raw vegetables every day? So there's a like global consensus, let's just say it's accepted, the global consensus that vegetables are good for you, right? But vegetables, if you go to the supermarket, may be 2 weeks old. They may be coming from a truck across the country. They may or may not be organic or sprayed with glyphosate or some other things. And they're expensive. So when I came here, I went to a play that I had 20 years ago, which was sprouting, where you take a seed, you add water, and that seed bursts into like a living organic plant, right? So I'm going to take you into my little my setup is
Doug,
48
Doug,
square
Doug,
feet.
is this something that anybody can I do this at home?
You could do this. You could have done this on the RV. When I go to Burning Man, I bring sprouts and jars, and you could sprout on the RV. It's that easy. Anyone could do this,
All
and
right,
that's
yep, walk me through it.
okay. So in my kitchen, I've got filtered water. I got some jars, and then I got some seeds. These are hemp seeds, and they look a little different than the ones that you have because these still have the shell on them. These are chia seeds. This is a combination of chickpeas, mung beans, green pea, right? These are sunflower seeds, and I buy like the seeds in 5-gallon buckets. So this is soybean seeds, organic soybean, right? And this is just more broccoli seeds. But I want you to take a look at this. These are sunflower sprouts, and you could see it. Here's a little shout. This starts off as a sunflower, and then you get this vegetable. So the idea that you can take seeds, add water, and within 1 week have organic vegetables for under $1 a serving, it's just mind-blowing. And the seed itself, if you think about this little sunflower seed here, if you were to soak this, and I got some, check this out. I'm sprouting some sunflowers right here. These are 1 day old, and they're growing the tail. I'll do this better angle here. 1 second. You could see there's a sunflower, and there's the tail that they're starting to sprout and germinate.
So Doug, let me just, for anyone that just joined, this is Doug Evans, a lifetime friend of mine, founding father of health and wellness in my world, and a mentor of mine. And he has been talking about sprouting. Listen, I find people that change the course of my life in interesting ways. They're not people necessarily on CBS, NBC, or TNT. They're people that are real life examples that have are battle tested, and whatever they're talking about, they've done. They don't always get everything right, but overall, I believe them. And Doug is one of the most high energy humans I know, and he attributes this to his rituals, routines, and what he eats. And he's been talking about sprouting, something that I could do with my kids at home inexpensively. Anyone can do it. Controlling your food source and getting power-packed sources of vitamins, dense nutrients, and basically energy. Doug, when you put those seeds, are those seeds going in soil?
You can actually grow these. I mean, here's the miracle, Jesse. You can grow these without soil, without sunshine. And it's simple. We're going to do the demo where you take the seeds, put them in a jar, add water, and they will double in size every single day. So just imagine the force multiplier that they'll go from a little seed to this in 1 week. So no soil, no sunshine. You just need to just create the environment. These are like you and me. We're like a jack in the box. You have a living organism that's dormant. You create the water, and then that thing bursts into life.
Doug, I have an idea. I think a lot of people that are in my Build Your Life Resume course would benefit greatly, myself included, Sarah included, from getting you're the sprout master, getting a tutorial on where to source these seeds, yep. how do you actually grow them, and how do I consume them? Do I eat the leaves? Do I eat the whole thing? When do I, I would love a tutorial. I will pay you to put together a tutorial to give my Build Your Life Resume base. Because I think this is really interesting. I actually think this is you are like, this is the first inning of what's going to be actually a decent sized category. And I think you're in the first inning of it, because I think people are going to start to take control more of their food. I think they're going to start to grow. I just did 5 plant beds in my house. I'm getting a hydroponic source to grow leafy vegetables. I think I don't trust anyone. Whole Foods is they're bait and switching people. They have packaging. They're buying stuff from China. They're calling it like California,
medley.
Oh no, I'm going to post this on Friday. because it's absolutely unbelievable. They're calling products in their 365 line like California,
California medley. It's the California medley.
California mangoes, and then it says "Made in China" on small print in the back of the by Whole Foods. Come on, man.
Well, it's Amazon. It's Amazon.
Right. There people. I don't trust them, man. They're bait and switching us. I want to control as much of my food source as I can, but I don't have a farm. I live in Atlanta. So if you can show people a way that they could at home sprout, get nutrient dense foods inexpensively. By the way, learning experience for their kids. Your kids are going to learn about where food comes from, how to grow it. I'm totally in. So if you're up for it, I like to offline talk about that as a course that I offer in Build Your Life Resume. I know that's not what we're here to talk about.
That's okay.
And if you could give the people here, and I'll save this, could you give everybody a short, take us from A to B. Where do you source it? How do you grow them? How do you eat them? And what are the benefits? That would be unbelievably impactful. So
the number one thing is you want to source seeds that are organic, right? And that are designed for sprouting. And right now, like the two high integrity companies that I'm using today, Sprout Man, right? And True Leaf Market. And they've got a brand, Handy Pantry. And I buy them in 5-gallon buckets, 35 pounds of seeds. And they end up costing like $2 a pound for the seeds. And I'm just going to give you like a little sound bite here. If you take a cup of lentils, right? And lentils are known just to be good for you. And right?
Yep.
Right. If you soak 1 cup of lentils, you get 2 cups of lentils, right?
Yeah, it's called being alive.
It's alive, right? You double the antioxidant content, right? So 1 cup of lentils versus 1 cup of sprouted lentils, you double the antioxidant levels, you triple the vitamin C, and you get like 7 grams of protein. So why would you put some plasticized, powdered, extruded whey protein? You want protein, you could sprout lentils, you could sprout hemp, you could sprout peas, and they all have protein in them. You also get vitamin C. So in 1 cup of lentils.
I'm with you, Doug. I'm with you.
Okay,
I got this guy too.
Hey, how's it going?
He's learning. It's Lincoln.
Yeah, Lincoln's on the ball.
While I get a tutorial on sprouting, can you get me another lime popsicle?
There's no more.
No more? I got a popsicle fear, Doug. Okay, keep going. I'm listening.
So that's the level. So every seed, just think about every seed is a dormant living organism. Living organism chilling in the dormant states. Seeds have been known to stay like alive for 1,000 years. So you can have seeds stored in your basement, in a refrigerator, in a freezer for a long time. Then you just add water and they come to life. They just come to life. It's like the seed is designed to just grow. And that seed contains everything it needs to go from a little seed into a vegetable in the week. And what happened is my insight was that sprouts were only for like the hippy dippy trippies, like your buddy, may he rest in peace, Harvey Diamond was a big sprouter, right? Steve Meyerowitz, the sprout man, big sprouter, Ann Wigmore, Victoras Kavinskas. But this old age group, all these are the OGs.
My friend Kaysan is listening to this. These are the Chuck D's of health. These are the Chuck D's, KRS-1s of health and wellness.
Yeah, exactly. So, but it was a very small niche. So sprouts were only available as like an accessory or a garnish. But when I moved to the desert and I said, I still need my calories, I still need my vegetables, I started to grow sprouts. Within 1 month, 50% of my calories were coming from sprouts, and I was spending like $12 a month for my seeds. It was
Love
so
you, Higgins. 1
extraordinary.
second. Matt Higgins. Put this guy on Shark Tank, Matt. We got sharks in here. We got Shark Tank sharks in here. Get Doug Evans on Shark Tank, man. The Sprout Master. What's your name, Doug? What's your stage name?
My organic Doug.
No, I know, but like, do you have a Sprout name, or just are you still Organic Doug?
I own the domain Sproutarian.
I love it.
Right, so
I'm gonna call you the Sproutarian. Okay, we're branded.
So, yeah. So the thing is, so I decided to write this book, the Sprout book, right? Because like I wanted to tap in to the power of the plant's most nutritious food. And your lady, Vani Hari, right? She got down on it, right? Deepak Chopra got down on the mysterious genius of plant intelligence. And then I started to interview like Dr. Mark Hyman, Dr. Dean Ornish, Dr. Joel Kahn, and these people, Dr. Josh Axe. And some of these guys are keto, some are paleo, some are like functional medicine, some are plant-based. The thing that they all had in common was they all loved sprouts. Like they all ate sprouts.
Doug, we're getting unbelievable names coming in. Sprout Sergeant, Sir Sprout, Sprout Master, the Sprout Surgeon. You should take it out to a focus group.
Well, you got anything that Liv comes up with.
Sprout Surgeon.
Yeah, Liv is OG. He used to come into Organic Avenue back in the day. So here's the thing. I just realized that if there was any criticisms.
The power sproutage.
So look, if there was any criticism like about Juicero, was that it was expensive, right? It was the same price.
Sir Sprout a lot. I love it.
All right. So if there was any criticism, is
Sprout
that
Mr. Flex. We got. By the way, we should just stop the call, take everybody that's viewing, and turn this into an ad agency. There's some geniuses on here.
Well,
the Sprout Guru.
This is I own SproutGuru.com. That's one of mine already.
Sprout. All right. So I'm sorry, Doug. I'm totally on board. By the way,
okay.
We're gonna do a. Do you have? And does anyone have the rights to you for video production of a course about sprouting?
No. I'm free.
Can we partner on that?
Jesse, I love you. I trust you. You are the only, like, if I think of someone who makes me feel comfortable being me, it's fucking you. Like, you make me feel like you give me permission to be my authentic self. Like, I don't care what anyone thinks, because Jesse don't give a shit. Jesse is himself, and I'm myself. So, no, I'm free. Let's do this.
Okay. That's a done deal. We're going to do this offline. Anybody listening, we're going to put together a tutorial on how to sprout, what to buy. You're listening to Doug Evans, one of the founding fathers, a mentor to me, founding father of the fruit juicing business in New York City decades ago. Had the first kind of stores that Organic Avenue, a series of stores throughout New York City. I'm sure many of you remember it. Kaysan, many juices with you together. So Doug has always, I would say, Doug, you're a master of health and wellness. You're super well read, and you're ahead of the trends. And you've had some amazing victories, and you've had some tough losses. It's a tough, these are tough businesses that you're trying to go into. When you pave the way and you innovate, it doesn't always work. But you always are looking for ways to help people feel better. It's the one thing all humans have in common. We want to feel better. We want to feel good. We want to feel accomplished. I think it's very hard to be a 15 out of 10 in your life if your health is blocked, obviously. If you have a sore throat and $1 billion, every time you swallow, all you care about is your sore throat. You don't care about your multi-million-dollar mansion. You want your throat to be better. Have you ever been sick in the last 20 years?
No. Jesse, I'm going to be 54 years old in 2 weeks. 54. And
you're reverse aging.
Unbelievable. Like my hair, like everything. And I've been running. You motivated me to get off my ass. I've ran 5 or 10K every day for the last 55 out of 60 days. And in the desert.
Are there any downsides to sprouting, Doug? Is there anything that's and is sprouting in replacement of a meal, or is it just to get amazing nutrients? What are the benefits?
I'm going to give you the downside because, we should know. One, as you introduce this new soluble and insoluble fiber to your gut, you may be flatulating, aka farting, like you are an alien from another planet, right? So just a risk. You just be quick on getting out of the room. So that's
Okay.
number one. The second, right? And you already fart like a master anyway, I'm sure of it. So
like a bison.
So the second one is when you're dealing with raw food, whether it's raw meat or raw plants or raw sprouts, you have to be concerned with sanitation and food hygiene and foodborne illnesses. So if you were to just get the oldest seeds from the bottom of the bulk bin and just start to sprout them, you are at risk of foodborne illness. So, but if you're buying organic seeds that are designed for sprouting, tested for pathogens, that have high germination rate, I think there's no issue. And any instances of foodborne illness and outbreaks have been commercial sprouting. And that's why there are no national sprout companies, because sprouts have a short shelf life. That's why it's important to sprout at home, because if you're sprouting at home, you take control.
How long does it take to put the sprouts in water and then get to a point where you can eat them?
You could be eating
the seeds in water.
You could be eating sprouted peas or sprouted lentils in as little as 2 to 3 days.
Right.
And here's another insight I just want to share with you. Broccoli seeds, you can eat them direct, right? Like as a seed. They're just a seed. Seeds are edible. But when you germinate them, here's the other thing, and you could research this, there were more than 1,500 studies by top, scientific organizations, universities like Johns Hopkins that research that broccoli sprouts as part of the cruciferous family of vegetables, along with cauliflower and kale, contain these isothiocyanates, which are the most anti-cancerous properties, right? And broccoli sprouts have 50 to 100 times this compound called sulforaphane that's in the mature broccoli. So these are real nutritionally dense powerhouses.
Right.
So
Doug, I got about 5 minutes.
Okay.
I got this guy wants to take a bath.
All right.
Lincoln, if you can't start it because you won't know how to put the plunger in, but if someone can help you start the bath, then you can do it yourself.
You do cold then hot.
Cold then hot.
But you have to push the drain down.
Got to push the brain chain down.
Can I?
You can try it. So Doug, walk me through it. You were starting the experiment. Walk me through it.
So you take a jar.
Okay.
Right? I'm going to do this. You take a jar. Here, check this out. So you take a jar. This is so heavy.
That's a good question about the allergies. I'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah, you take the jar. Look at that.
Yeah.
5-pound box, right? You then take a measuring cup, right? Measuring spoon. You take 1 scoop. This is 1 tablespoon. I got this lid on it, which is a screen. You could also use cheesecloth. You put it in. You add some filtered water.
Yep.
Right? And then I'm using this bamboo dish tray, and I just leave it to soak, right? And these you let soak for 8 hours. These have been soaking now for 2 days. So twice a day, you take these, you add water. You make sure you're rinsing them, right? Then you strain the water.
Yep.
And you let them just chill. And that's it. You do that twice a day, right? So these in 8 hours, I'll rinse and strain. You let them sit, and then that's it.
And how long until they're at a point where you can eat them?
Like as little as 3 days, and those will become this big in 1 week.
And you eat the whole thing?
You eat the whole thing. The whole thing.
Is there any taste to them? I guess it depends on the seed and what you're using. Or
the broccoli sprouts, according to that beast, Juji Mufu, you saw them? You know, he says it tastes like finely chopped lettuce with a hint of broccoli.
I'm 100% in. Doug, do you sell? Why don't you just like sell the whole kit?
Right now, my 2020 mission is to just create the sprout revolution. I want everybody in America to wake up to sprout consciousness. So every day, like I did Joe DeSena, 2 weeks ago, we did a LinkedIn Live. I did one with Matt Higgins like 3 weeks ago. Tomorrow I'm going on the Rich Roll podcast. I did a podcast with the Wellness Mama. And I'm just out there because right now, I just think this is open source technology. Everyone should just be able to just sprout, especially when we think about the impact of people that they don't have access to organic vegetables.
So this is what I'd like to do, Doug. I'd like to create a video with you where we can show people exactly how to do it, just like you just did, super simple. A little tutorial on what's the different seeds, broccoli, this, that, what you recommend. Where to source the best jars or strainer and seeds, etc., and offer it up. We'll create a video. I want to give it, if the goal is to educate people, I love to put it on my Build Your Life resume platform, which is some people that have taken my course. You want to go wider, we can go wider, and I'll tell you what I'll do. I will buy. How much is your book at retail?
My book at retail is $17.99.
Okay, I'm going to buy a shit ton of books from you, and I will give them out to people as a gift. This is not planned. There's no promotion here. We're not, anyone can buy your book, anyone that takes the course, goes through this, because it's the gift of life. So I'm happy to do it. This is phenomenal. I am 100% in. 100% in. Could you DM me the best seeds, the seeds that you get?
Absolutely. I'll put together a shopping list, like an Amazon cart, and I'll send it.
I want the strainer and the whole thing, an Amazon cart, and then we're gonna make this happen, man. Listen. I'm fruit till noon. You see all this gray, Doug?
Yeah.
I didn't have that. Part of it's because I got 4 kids under 10. Part of it's because I've been through a lot of battles. Not literal battles, but business and this and that, and long runs and this and that. But don't let this fool you, man. I feel like I'm 31 years old.
Oh, let me just tell you something. That gray, like I have some gray too. You can't.
Fantasy football guy. Yeah.
But the point is that we have the life force. That's all that matters is the energy. And I'm telling you, Jesse, I really feel better than I did when I got out of the military.
Doug, every day, you and I, we go wire to wire. The minute we wake up, game on. All the way until Sarah says you have to go to bed. It's wire to wire. There is zero lag. It's every day is 5 days in one.
Yeah.
You can't. So I'm 50. I'm 250 years old. I'm 250 years old because every day is a 5-bagger.
Exactly.
Every day.
You know what
Monday,
I do?
My Monday, it's already Friday.
Yeah.
But it's only Monday.
Well, when you get up at 5:30 in the morning, they used to say I get more done by 9 o'clock than most people do all day. And my key right now, this is an insight. This is a organic Doug thing. I set my alarm what time to go to sleep because otherwise I don't know when to stop.
It's so true. People always talk about their morning routines. They're so overrated. It's all about my night routine. There's no difference. It's like the energy level never stops. Let me tell you about my day real quick, Doug. And I'm just going to share this with everyone. I'm going to be 52 years old. Sarah wanted to walk, so we walked 4 miles. Okay? Worked, kids, swam with my kids, played with my kids, blah, 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 blah. Trainer Mark Brown came, knocked out 5 or 6 miles, took a steam, about to take a cold plunge, going to work for 4 hours, taking my kids biking in the park. And then I'm going to go for another run. And then it never ends. It's just boom, 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 boom. And for you, it's sprouts. For me, it's fruit. But imagine if I integrate this into my life,
Well, the key to sprouts is you actually get more nutrients with less calories and more antioxidants, and you're getting compounds that are alive that feed the microbiome. Like, like the microbiome, you've got more like DNA of.
Hold on 1 second, Doug. Michael, I see that the CEO of Chloe's Fruit just joined. I'm 2 Chloe's Fruit bars in on this live with Doug Evans alone. So that's my one. That's my, it's not even a cheat thing. Doug,
I'm here.
Every time I speak to you, I get introduced to something new and exciting. And I love this because I love that I can control the source. There's no pesticides. I'm watching the whole process, and I love it. I don't know if we have enough. I have a really amazing garden that I just planted out here. I got amazing tomatoes. I got basil, cucumbers, bean. I got everything. And what's amazing is you don't need a lot of space to harvest a lot of food.
No.
And all you need is a jar and and water.
Yes.
And you have your own sprout farm.
Yeah, and you know what you could do? Like, this is the way like Americans have just been brainwashed over the years. If you have a garden and you're growing broccoli, people eat the broccoli florets, and then when it comes to seed, they pull it and they go, the season's over. And one broccoli seed will grow into a broccoli floret, and then will flower, and then it'll have pods and will generate 600 more seeds. So you could even if you do have soil and you do have a garden, you could even be growing your own seeds and save your seeds.
Doug, when do I know when to eat them or not eat them? When do I know that these sprouts are ready to roll?
I mean, I'll send you pictures and the guides, but pretty much, they're going to go like from this big to this big, and then they're going to attract you. Like in our brain, they're going to be so beautiful. Like I look at these, Jesse.
Do you have any? Okay.
How beautiful these are. Okay, this is food, right? When it's just like this, you can eat a sunflower seed, right?
So you have some that are harvesting in a jar and some that are harvesting.
Yeah, what I do is I somewhat incubate them in this jar, and then I lay them out on an unbleached. I got these paper towels, unbleached paper towels, right, that are tested for pathogens, and I roll them out, and then I have this big spray bottle, and I just spray them with the mist bottle, and it's that easy.
So those were born in the jar. They came out of the jar. There's no soil.
Yeah, no soil, no soil, no sunshine. Like I keep them. It's so bright out there that I just have to keep them in here, and you can grow like this with no soil, no sunshine. It's like they have everything that they need in the seed to go. Now, if you wanted to grow this, and think about the miracle of a sunflower, this seed, if you let it continue to grow, will grow into a 6-foot tall sunflower that will turn with the sun from sunrise to sunset, and then will produce another 500 seeds from one seed. That's the miracle of nature. So if you think about, like, I don't want to be political, I don't want to talk about climate change right now or anything, but if you think about the most efficient use of resources, like I was listening to the Zach Bush on Rich Roll, and they talked about the state of Kansas, which is the largest agricultural state in the United States. 90% of the food that's consumed in Kansas is coming from outside of Kansas, because 90% of the food that they grow in Kansas is soy and corn to feed cows. And it takes 20 pounds of grain and 20 pounds of soy to create 1 pound of beef, and 7,000 gallons of water for 1 pound of beef. So, and then if you think about the pesticides and the runoff and the poor guys, we talk about equality. Imagine like someone who is so destitute that they need to work in a slaughterhouse every day, like the anxiety of that life, the smell, the disease, the environment, and then like, oh, what do you do every day? I go, oh, I just slaughter animals. Like the idea that you could be growing this in this almost Pollyanna way. You have your jars, you have your seeds.
Right. No.
Flowers.
Doug, I'm fully in. So if anyone is just listening, Doug Evans, teaching me about how to grow my own, harvest my own sprouts at home, take control of my food. Very simple. Seeds. You need a jar. You need sunlight and water, and you're off and running. And I'm in. We're gonna do a video tutorial. I'm gonna leave this up for everybody, Doug, in case anybody wants to, revisit this. And you're unbelievable, man. I love the energy. I love the passion. I love the authenticity. Like, this is who you are. This is what you do. You've mastered this stuff. You're very well spoken, and you know all about it. Anything you want to say in closing?
I want to invite people to become present to the fact that everything you put in your mouth is a choice. And that, to me, that choice is a life or death decision. And so if people just wake up and become present to their food, they can choose to eat food that's going to serve them. Like, the information and the knowledge is out there. Everyone who's watching this has access to the internet. Like, we now have access. And if you have health, that is the number one indicator of wealth, is to have this optimum health. So that's what I
listen, Doug, they say if you have health, you have hope. If you have hope, you have everything. If you're not healthy, man, it's all down. It's over. It's over. Even if you have wealth, it's over. So look, I got to go get Lincoln in the bathtub here. This has been unbelievable. I am going to have a sprout factory. I don't want to just sprout. I'm going to have a sprouting factory in my house in the next week. I will, I'll post it. Let me screenshot this. I'm going to take a picture. Got it. I'm going to post the information in my stories, Doug, about you, the seeds you recommend, where to get everything, and we'll take it from there.
All right, Jesse, I love you. I love Sarah. I love the family. I remember when Laser was born. Form lives of others. Like, I commend you, because you could just be sitting, lying in the sun, and instead you're having fun. That's the real deal. That's what I love about you, Jesse.
Definitely, man. Much love. What happens after Sprouts? Where do we go from there?
Look, I think we're taking Sprouts to the moon. That's where we're going. It's like, this is my mission. I found my calling. I want to teach people how to grow their own food. Oh, last point I want to make. If you buy a juice in the juice bar, it was like $5 to $7. You buy Sprouts, finished Sprouts in Whole Foods, $5. You grow them on your own, 30 cents. Okay? Everybody can afford to sprout. Like, that's the key, the seeds. And the more people sprout, the more people will sprout. And I can tell you, this is a fact, Jesse, since my book came out in April, the sales of the sprouting companies have doubled and tripled. Like, people are tuning in to Sprout Consciousness because
Doug,
turn it over to
I'm going to buy a shit ton of books with you. We're going to make a video, and we're going to change the way people perceive this. And, this is, like you said, if you're not growing sprouts for 30 cents, and it's a no-brainer, man. A no-brainer. I love it. Okay. All right, I got to go get Lincoln out of the tub, man. Glad we did this. Great to see you. You checkmate me with your energy.
Well, Jesse,
you checkmate me.
Jesse, just for your followers, can you give them an example of persistence? Like, if I want to, like, connect with you, is it just like one phone call? Or, like,
no.
What does someone have to do if they really want to, like,
There's no end point for you.
That's right.
There's just, if you want to get something done, there's no end point. It's whatever it takes all day long. You probably emailed me, called me, texted me, and FaceTimed me. But you know what? In a weird way, the universe somehow positioned it like it wasn't annoying.
Oh, because you have to be careful. Like,
yeah.
You have to, like, water the plants, the. And what I did was I planted enough seeds and I sent you enough information that they germinated.
No, but Doug, it's different. You have enough credibility with me that I know, that people get fired up. I get fired up. I learn. So there's enough that I always know every time we get on a call. Listen, I don't like regular people. I like regular people, but I'm drawn to superhumans. You're like a superhuman to me. And what I mean by superhumans is people that have a different opinion. They've done things, they found their own way. They don't necessarily listen to everybody. Like, they don't believe marketing, they believe intuition. And they're aligned with me in, like, I want to say this in a way that doesn't offend anybody, but like, that just like kind of can offer me something that someone that maybe is super wealthy, but they just look in front of a screen trading stocks all day or something, like that. I like people that I'm drawn to people. They always say here's how I want to say it. They always say surround yourself with like-minded people. But the real way you grow is if you meet people that aren't like-minded, that have a different opinion, that can offer you new insight, that can offer you a different way to look at things, that can introduce you to newness and better and fix things that are broken, help, I'm drawn to that. And you always offer me that. So, there was an energy around all those calls, and here we are. And now we're going to do a video course. I'm going to buy a shit ton of books. I'm going to order all this stuff. Sarah's going to walk in here in 48 hours. I'm going to have 50 jars in the sun.
I love it.
And that's just the way it goes. And we're going to rebrand you. We have all Sir Sprout a lot. We got a lot of names on the board. So thank you. I got to check on my son.
I love
you, brother. And I'll be in touch.
Okay, brother. Peace.
Peace. See you, everybody.